The Magical Riddles of Elf Tymi. In the land of Santa, where snow never melts and magic is an everyday occurrence, lived a little elf named Tymi. Santa's land was a place full of wonders and mysteries, where each day brought new adventures. The scent of cinnamon and gingerbread wafted everywhere, and the sound of bells echoed in the air. In this magical realm, each elf had their task, and Tymi, though still young, dreamed of one day becoming Santa's most important helper. Tymi was full of energy and curiosity, but often became angry when things didn't go his way. One day, while playing in Santa's workshop, Tymi found an old dusty book. On the cover was the title, The Magical Riddles of Elf Tymi. When Tymi opened the book, he saw that each page contained a riddle. The first riddle read, "What to do when your heart beats faster and the world seems unfair?" Tymi felt frustration growing in his heart. "That's me," he thought. "I always feel this way when I have to do something I don't like." Tymi decided to ask Santa for help. "Santa, I found this book full of riddles, but I don't know how to solve them. I feel angry and frustrated whenever I try." Santa smiled warmly. "Tymi, each riddle is like a small lesson. Remember when we learned to make toys? It was difficult at first, but gradually it became easier. These riddles are like lessons that will help you understand yourself." Tymi took the book and read the first riddle aloud. "What to do when your heart beats faster and the world seems unfair?" Santa suggested, "Try using your imagination to create a magical place where you feel safe. It could be an ice palace or a snowy land full of snowmen." Tymi closed his eyes and imagined himself in an ice palace, surrounded by beautiful shimmering ice walls and snow sculptures. In this magical place, everything was peaceful and quiet. "It works!" he shouted with joy. The next riddle was, "What to do when you have to clean up and don't want to?" Tymi again felt anger rising within him, but he remembered what he did the previous day. He closed his eyes, imagined himself in his ice palace, and felt the anger subside. Slowly but surely, he started cleaning up without getting angry. However, it wasn't always that easy. One day, Tymi had to repair a complicated toy, and his frustration grew with each moment. He tried imagining peaceful places, but this time it wasn't enough. Then he remembered Santa's words. "You don't have to do everything alone. Ask for help." Tymi went to his friend, the elf Snowy, who was a master at fixing toys. "Snowy, I need your help. I'm struggling with this toy and feel like I'm about to explode with anger." Snowy smiled and said, "Of course, Tymi. Together we can do it." They worked together, and Tymi noticed that with his friend's support, his anger slowly disappeared. Tymi realized that when he shared his struggles with other elves and how he dealt with them, he felt better. "Maybe this is the key to solving the riddles," he thought. "I don't have to do everything myself. I can ask for help." One day, Tymi had to tackle a difficult task in Santa's workshop. It was something he'd never done before, and he felt anger starting to build within him. But this time, instead of succumbing to anger, Tymi closed his eyes, imagined himself in his ice palace, and then asked other elves for help. The next riddle was, "What to do when you have to do something and don't want to?" Tymi felt frustration again, but he remembered how magical imaginings helped him. He closed his eyes and imagined having a magical amulet that gave him strength and energy to complete the task. He imagined the amulet shining brightly, dispelling his reluctance and adding motivation. Slowly but surely, he tackled the task, feeling his anger give way to determination. He understood that sometimes, Even when you really don't want to do something, you have to because it brings benefits and satisfaction. Tymi also learned that sometimes he must act independently. Once, while playing, he noticed that his friends were busy with their tasks. He felt a bit lonely and angry, but decided to find something that would bring him joy. He found an old magical puzzle that used to be his favorite toy. He engaged with it, and his anger gave way to joy and satisfaction from playing alone. Tymi also learned that it's worth listening to the advice of those who care for and nurture him. One day, when Tymi struggled to tie his shoes, he felt anger rising within him. "Why does this have to be so hard?" he thought. Then Santa approached him and said, "Tymi, sometimes the simplest things can be difficult, but don't give up. Try again, and if you need help, you can always ask." Tymi listened to Santa's advice and tried again. This time he tied his shoes without a problem. He understood that Santa, Snowy, and other elves always wanted the best for him. Their advice was full of wisdom and care, and Tymi realized that being stubborn wasn't worthwhile. Listening to them helped him manage difficult emotions and make good decisions. Even though Tymi sometimes struggled with difficult emotions, Santa and the other elves always loved him unconditionally. They knew Tymi was special and irreplaceable. He was the heart of Santa's land, and his smile brightened even the darkest days. Tymi understood that even when he felt angry, no one loved him any less. Santa's land was his home, full of love and support, where he could always count on help and understanding. He knew he was important and loved, regardless of his emotions. Do you remember how Tymi learned to manage his anger? Maybe you'll try closing your eyes and imagining a place where you feel safe the next time you feel angry. Remember, you can always ask your loved ones for help. Your home is a place where you'll always receive support, help, and love. In difficult times, recall how Tymi handled challenges. Remember, it doesn't always work the first time, but it's important to keep trying, just like Tymi. Return to his story to find strength and inspiration. Tymi lived happily ever after, teaching other elves how to manage their emotions. And Santa's land was even more magical thanks to his newfound wisdom.